Cool. Okay, Joe.
All right.
Great to meet you. It's pretty. It's a bit of an honour. You're kind of a bit of a global megastar these days. And,
I'm nothing. I'm an email. That's what I do. I send emails all day, and I do phone calls and interviews. I'm nobody special.
Yeah, yeah. But it's. I mean, it's still impressive, right? You've you know, you've built this incredible racing empire, and you're a published author, and you know, you've kind of created this brand that's you know, it's influencing people's lifestyle. I mean, did you ever think that you'd come to, you know, become, you know, somebody who's kind of set all of that up?
Funny thing, never thought in a million years this would happen. The really funny and ironic thing about it is my mom in the 70s was a health food freak, into meditation, vegan, pushing the limits with exercise, and that was very uncommon in the 70s. And I shunned it, my sister shunned it, everybody in our family, friends, everybody said this is ridiculous. Fast forward 40 years, and this is popular discussions now, interviews, the race business. So never expected it to get mainstream. I thought, you know, if we could change a few lives, if I can get 10 friends, 20 friends, maybe 100 friends to do stuff like this, it would be awesome. Never expected 1 million. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's in some ways ruined my life, right? Because I don't get to live a Spartan lifestyle at all anymore. But that's okay if we're changing that many lives.
Yeah, for sure. And so yeah, obviously a big part of your role now is kind of going around doing this kind of thing.
Yeah.
You must have been interviewed 1,000 times already.
Lots of interviews.
Yeah. So like, this is a really important question. What's the best question you've been asked in an interview, do you reckon?
Oh, that's a good one. You know, there was one interviewer that did ask some amazing questions, and I think they were just asking. The question that really got me was, how do you stay motivated, right? Because that's the #1 question we get asked at Spartan Race, whether it's on the Facebook pages and social and emails, and some people think that to answer the question, right? Some people.
Well, actually, that's it. I'm going to resort to that if I need to. I'm going to try and beat that question. I actually do want to know the answer to it. I'm going to see if I can beat it first, and then if I don't, I'm going to ask it at the end, and see how we go. And I'm going to start that off. It's actually not my question. This is something that I put out to our community yesterday and said, hey, I'm meeting up with Joe, and said, does anyone have a question for him? And the first thing that came up was, will you have an arm wrestle with me?
How are we going to do it here?
Would be interested in having an arm wrestle. I reckon we could take that table off and
I think we got to do it.
Let's do it.
My guess is he's going to win.
Size and everything, Joe. Okay. Pete versus Joe, the arm wrestle.
By the way, I haven't arm wrestled in, it's got to be a decade.
Yeah, me neither. I haven't
what are the rules here?
I don't know. Are there rules, right? Are you supposed to, should we hold, are you allowed to hold the table? No, let's hold our knee. I think
hold our knee, which knee?
That one, I guess.
Alright, let's do it.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, God. Oh, you're doing the twisty thing.
He's strong.
Good job.
Very strong. Very strong.
Nice one. Well done, man. Right. Cool. Back to it. Okay. Have I beaten the question yet?
You beat the question.
Woo! Okay.
You beat the question and nearly beat me.
We'll still go back to that question afterwards. Okay. Yeah. Apart from arm wrestling me, what would you say was your biggest physical challenge that you've ever faced?
Toughest physical challenge ever faced was I was in a car accident. A buddy of mine was driving. I've actually been in 3 near fatal car accidents, so never drive with me. Arm wrestle me, do not drive with me. But the most serious one, a buddy of mine fell asleep and he hit a tree at 85 miles an hour, and I went out the window. I didn't have my seatbelt on. Always wear your seatbelt. And my leg was disconnected from my body. It was behind my back, and they had to crack my hip and put it back in place into the socket. And the doctor said, you know, you're not going to run again. You're not going to. You're barely going to walk. And that was a pretty big obstacle, and I obviously overcame it. So
yeah, excellent, nice one. Yeah, cool.
My arm hurts, by the way.
Yeah, mine too. Maybe we should have warmed up first.
Yeah, we should have warmed up first.
So, you know, from this is obviously, you're talking about something way more than a niggle. But, you know, within our community, we're a community of runners. You know, that's the real kind of basis of what we are. And you know, when we look on our forum, it's kind of filled with things. I can guarantee you, every single one of us have got something wrong with our knees, something wrong with our calves, something wrong with our ankles. You have taken your challenge is probably beyond a point that a lot of us have done, right? Because you've done the, loads of Ironman, you've done the endurance races. How do you deal with those kinds of niggles to be able to take it to the point where you're doing the kind of distances that you do?
In other words, how do you get through the dark place, right? So I think there's a couple of methods to get through dark places. Well, before you even get to the dark place, the biggest problem people have, back to that question I was asked, how do you get motivated? You got to get off the couch. You got to get out of the kitchen. You got to get out of the office and just go do something and make yourself uncomfortable. Whether it's a cold shower, as ridiculous as that sounds, whether it's just walking around the block, whether it's carrying something heavy, taking the stairs instead of the escalator. So that's step one. Step two is now you're going to hit a dark place, and you're going to want to quit. And what happens with your mind is the most logical reasons of why you should quit enter the mind. Your knee hurts, you're not trained enough, you did legs yesterday. Very logical reasons that you could justify to friends and family as to why, and yourself, why you quit. And what I do, and what people that are successful in those endeavors and pushing through do, is you chop up the goal into tiny little pieces. So let me just make it to the next telephone pole. Let me just get up one more flight, and then I'll look at my options. And another great way to get through it is to say it could be worse, right? So it could be snowing. I could be dead. I could be living in Bosnia, burning my roof to heat my house, right? And so most of us don't have those bad things happening to us. We have it pretty easy. And when you put it in perspective like that, it just makes it easier to push through. But that doesn't mean it's not going to be hard. That doesn't mean everybody doesn't go through those same motivational issues. If you're not pissing blood, keep moving.
Yeah, nice one. Okay, the next question that I've had provided by someone, I think you'll probably get a good grasp for the type of community that we have, was whether you'd like to have a thumb war with me.
A thumb war?
Have you played thumb war before?
I've never played thumb war.
Alright, cool. I might actually win this one then. Right, so what you do, you put hands together like that.
What kind of community is this?
And then what you have to do, you have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, I commence a thumb war.
Got it.
I commence a thumb.
But by the way,
I pronounce the thumb war.
The audience should know his thumb is twice the size
I have a big
of my
thumb.
thumb.
I really fancy my chances at this one. So, and then once you do that, you have to try and trap the other person's thumb down. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. I pronounce a thumb war.
You bastard. He's got a big thumb.
No.
He's got a big thumb.
You're kidding me.
Look at this. Big thumb down.
Oh, is there anything you can't do, Joe?
There's no way. This is a setup. He's letting me win these things.
Oh, okay. All right. Back to the serious stuff again. So, Spartan, massive in the US. Speaking to Dan a couple of weeks ago, young guy in the UK, he seems really keen on making it, just as big over here and just as dominant over here.
Tough Nails. His last name, Tough Nail?
Yeah.
Perfect name.
Perfect name. So, number one, getting to that point over here when there's so many other races out there, in the same respect, how do you keep that dominance over in America when there's so many other races?
It's hard. It's very, very hard. People don't understand. People in the community that want to race, sometimes they'll look at Spartan and say, "Oh, gee, why shouldn't you be supporting other races?" Of course, we want to help other races. Our goal is to get people off the couch. Do you know when you get on an airline and the stewardess says, "Everybody should, God forbid, something go wrong, take your oxygen first before you help somebody else"? We're still in the stage of we need some oxygen before we can help anybody else. And so it's tough with that competition out there because there's only so many weekends a year and there's only so many dollars people have to spend. We hopefully will win the war by being better, right? We want to just put on a better event. We want to the Spartan name is so powerful, right? I mean everybody wants to be a Spartan deep down inside. And so hopefully between the name, between doing a better job, between marketing better so people even know we exist, hopefully we'll sustain ourselves.
Yeah. Nice one. yeah, moving on from there, you want to make this an Olympic sport, right?
We'd love to.
Yeah, and so a real thing that kind of jumps out to me about that is that something I really love about obstacle racing is that it's diversity. You know, it changes all the time. Do you feel that by making it an Olympic sport, maybe it would impose restrictions on it, and make it conform to particular standards, for good or better? And if so, like how would that affect obstacle racing as a whole?
I just gotta massage my thumb. I think the Olympics is the tip of the spear. If we were lucky enough to get in the Olympics, what I mean by that is 90% of our participants are couch potatoes, right? Maybe they used to be athletes, for whatever reason they got busy with work. The goal for us of getting in the Olympics is really, it's not a moneymaker. It would just be the exposure, so that people recognize it as a real sport. People from ultramarathon, from cycling, from ping pong, from curling, they might move over and actually try a Spartan Race because it would be a much larger platform and it would be accepted. I don't think it would affect it in a negative way at all. I think if you look at any Olympic sport, it gets ingrained in people's minds that this is something that we should learn how to compete in, and there's no more natural of a sport than this sport. Right? Everything else is some concocted game. This is like what we did every day on this planet.
You know, the way that things are progressing, you know, the way that Spartan has come from the death race originally, right? And you know, the forefront of that was, you know, telling people you might die if you take part in this race. And even now, with the kind of disclaimers and things like that, you know, you're warning people of some pretty serious stuff. Right. With this now becoming such a mass market event, where is the line between the putting the fear into people, yet also protecting a lot, you know, millions of people who are taking part in it all over the world? Yeah,
well, you want to make it an achievement. It doesn't mean anything if you can cross the finish line by skipping obstacles or not getting sweaty or not breathing heavy, not being up against the wall yourself. The finish line doesn't mean anything, the achievement doesn't mean anything, which means you're not going to change your life. Right? It's just going to be, we don't grow when we're comfortable, we grow when we're uncomfortable. And so so I think that's where we want to go. Now, you don't want to push too hard. You don't want to hurt people where they don't come back. So I think we've achieved this balance where it's certainly scary. It doesn't feel accessible to everybody. If we lowered the bar, there'd be a lot more participants. But I don't think it would have longevity. I think parties are everywhere. There are parties at night in nightclubs, and that's not what we want to be. We want to be a place where you come, you compete, you achieve, and hopefully you repeat. And you get new friends, you go to bed earlier, you stop drinking so much wine, you give up the ice cream. I love ice cream. And it just transforms you.
Cool. And this is the essence of what your book's about, right?
By the way, this coffee is not mine.
Okay.
No, that's the book is to get you up off the couch, out of your comfort zone. That's when you meet people. That's when you stumble upon new jobs, new opportunities. Maybe you start a business, as you did, and you can't just sleepwalk through life. It would be a shame to use up the resources of the planet and not get anything done while you're here. And so people say, Joe, don't you calm down? Shouldn't you relax? No, I mean, I'm running out of time. We all are. I've got to get some shit done. And that's what this book is about, getting shit done.
Oh, nice one. And
here we go again. I've got to jump out the window. First one out the window wins.
I feel like now you may be 3 for 3. I give you 2 guesses what I'm going to ask you.
It's got to be burpees.
First to 10 burpees?
Yeah.
Yeah? Quiet burpees.
They've got to be quiet burpees.
I can do quiet burpees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know what we should do to make it, we'll go together for 7 of them.
Yeah.
And then it's the last 3.
Yeah. Okay.
All right?
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
Ready? Down. Up. 1. Down. Up. 2. Down. Up. 3. Down. Up. 4. Down. Up. 5. Down. Up. 6. Down. Up. 7. All right, go for it. 1, 2. How'd we do?
Just how you'd expect it. Well done.
3 for 3.
3 for 3.
But he's twice my size. That's not really fair.
Yeah, the ground's a long way away.
Yeah, my son crushes me because he's half my size.
Yeah.